Hey there, Jeff Manchester, Manchester Music. Welcome. In this video, I want to talk about the conclusion to our mixing series. You'll remember that we started with a mix called In Bocca al Lupo, In the Mouth of the Wolf. Thanks for people who pointed that out to me. It's like good luck in Italian or something. And it was by a client named Kevin Butler. He sent this to me. And I started by mixing the whole thing. I did a 6-part video series on bass, drums, guitars, keys, master bus, everything. And then I did a video, and I'll leave links to all these things as I talk about them in the top corner of the screen. I think the top right corner of the screen. Then I did a video where I sent the mix to a guy named Dom Morley, who runs a company called The Mix Consultancy. And what he does is listens to your mix, and then depending on the package you get, he will give you feedback. And so I wanted to bring you guys in on what the first kind of slice of feedback looked like. There were several other slices of feedback after that, and those are captured here in my Logic session, including the very final one that I sent to Kevin, got his feedback on, and then the last version of that, the kind of finished one, which is here in the mix as well after Kevin's suggestion. So that's why in Logic in front of me we have original, and then we have Mix Consultancy 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the final one that Kevin wanted some tweaks on. So this is the video kind of concluding that journey, because I think it's really important for people to understand just what kind of arc and story and life cycle a mix goes through. It's not just like you do it, you send it off, and on to the next one. It's a collaborative process between a couple people, all in service of a creative vision, in this case, a song. So I've scoped out here a verse going into a chorus, and what I want to do is play you each stage of the mix, starting with the original. So this is the one that Kevin sent to me with, everything's kind of at unity. The levels are set where they are. This was not a rough mix. This was just like, here's all the tracks that I recorded. Please go and blend them together and mix them. So this is what that sounds like. Take a listen.
Surrounded a star, and all of the worry over a sky. I came to see you. It's hard, I know, but you're breaking all your own. You try, but you make it.
So as you can hear, it's the vocals are present. Some of the keys and drums are kind of quiet in the chorus. So there was a good foundation, well-recorded things, but it was up to me to kind of enhance that and bring it to the next level. And that's where we got this very first kind of generation of a mix. And this is the one that I was happy enough with to send to Dom. So this is kind of like a very close, rough mix. So this is what I came up with. And let's listen to that.
Surrounded a star, and all of the worry over a sky. I came to see you. It's hard, I know, but you're breaking.
And just for fun, let's cycle back between the original and then this mix. You can just kind of hear the difference in how far we came with just one kind of jump. So I'll hit Option in Logic. I'm using Logic just because it's a comfortable place for me to be workstation-wise. So I'll start with the original and just flip back and forth like this. So when we're on the first one here, this is the original, and then this is the very kind of close rough mix.
Surrounded a star, and all of the worry over a sky. I came to see you. It's hard, I know, but you're breaking all your own. You try, but you're making all alone. It's hard, I know, but you're breaking.
Okay, you guys get the picture. So after I submitted my first mix to Dom, he had a lot of feedback for me that was super helpful. And not just because it's like, I think it's going to make the mix better, but the nice thing about what Dom was sending over is that all of his feedback was stuff that I could use and deploy in future mixes. So it was really cool for that reason too, because I'm already thinking about ways that his feedback might influence some of my like my mixing template and things like that too. So anyway, so I sent my mix to Dom, and I remember if you go back and watch that video, some of his feedback was around the kick being a bit too rock, a bit too hard. The vocal was a little quiet. Other instruments were getting in the way of the vocal. And he also wanted some of the percussion stuff. Percussion, remember, is like, it's not the drum kit. Those are drums. It's like shakers and tambourines. Those were a little kind of quiet in the mix. And we wanted to increase their presence, especially in the chorus, to really make the chorus stand out from the verse. So let's go to that mix here, which says declick, just because I noticed there's a little click. And I sent it back to Dom, and he was kind enough to hold his fire on feedback on the next one and listen to the declicked version. So this is the near perfectly done rough mix into the first MixCon mix that Dom sent back, and this is the feedback that I enacted from his feedback here. So here we go.
Surrounded a star, and all of the worry over a sky.
So listen to the kick in this one. It's going to be a little louder, and then in this one it's a little softer. So here's the first pass with my rocky kick that Dom thought was a bit too loud.
Surrounded a star, and all of the world.
And here's the other one.
Surrounded a star, and all of the worry over a sky.
So the kick wasn't quite muted just yet. It was still a little rocky, and that was part of his feedback. And the next one was the kick. Still not, not as quiet as I think it needs to be. The vocal is a little quiet. Let's turn that up. So, and let's also find some other percussion stuff that we can use to enhance the chorus. So you'll notice as we go to MixCon 3, from 2 to 3, it's not that kind of crazy a difference, but let's have a listen anyway and see if you can detect the differences between the two mixes here, 2 and 3. So here's the third pass.
Surrounded a star, and all of the world.
So I think you can tell I'll cycle between MixCon 1 with my kind of rockier kick, and then the third one, which where he was like, really, just turn it down. So here's the kick in 1, and we'll go to 3.
Surrounded a star, and all of the worry over a sky. I can't see you. It's hard, I know, but you're breaking.
So then we got to the very fourth iteration where some more tweaks were made. And I think the fun thing to do now is to go between the final kind of Dom Morley suggestion kind of thing, and then the very first one that I sent before I had any feedback from him at all. Listen to the kick. Listen to, we'll just go to the chorus here, and listen to the sides. How on the sides we have a much wider image, and also the vocal is a lot louder in 4 than it is in 1. So we have a lighter kick. We have more happening on the sides, more of a panoramic kind of sound for when the chorus kicks in, and the vocal is also sitting a little bit better. So we'll start with my mix, my rough, and then go to 4.
I can't see you. It's hard, I know, but you're breaking. I can't see you. It's hard, I know, but you're breaking. Oh, you're
So as you listen to 4, listen how on the right we have a shaker that's very pronounced. The tambourine's on the left. It's nice and sitting well. And the vocals it's got more oomph to it than in number 1. Let's go back and flip back and forth between 1 and 4 again, starting with 1.
I can't see you. It's hard, I know, but you're breaking all your own rules. You try, but you're making all alone. It's hard, I know, but you're breaking all your own. You try, but you're making.
So the chorus is a bit more explosive and interesting. We can hear Kevin a bit better too. He's more intelligible. And we have more of a Beck Ray LaMontagne mix, a bit more than we had with the first couple versions, which were, I think, I agree with Dom, a bit too rocky. So once we got to the 4th pass, I think I might have got an extra pass of feedback from Dom, which is great. I sent the mix to Kevin, and Kevin listened, and his feedback was actually very consistent with the feedback of a lot of people who are singer-songwriters. He wanted his harmonies to be a little louder, which I think after some finessing, I agree, it does sound better with those harmonies much more present in the verses and in the choruses. So you'll see as we get to this, I'll just pick another chorus here. The harmonies are a lot more present, a lot more in your face, and I think it does actually serve the song really well. And he's got, not only does he have a great voice, but he also has a really good intuition for just, where the harmonies should be and how many of them there should be and all that stuff. So let's listen, let's cycle between the Kevin approved Do This mix and then my very first kind of near perfect rough mix that I sent to the mix consultancy, starting with Kevin's. Here we go.
It's hard, I know, but you're breaking all your own. You try, but you're making all alone. It's hard, I know, but you're breaking all your own. You try, but you're making all alone.
Okay, and just for fun, let's go between the very original mix and then the very final one with the harmony lift. So let's start with the first one.
To see you, it's hard, I know, but you're breaking all your own. You try, but you're making all alone. It's hard, I know, but you're breaking all your own. You try, but you're making all alone.
All right, so there you have it. I thought this would be a helpful video, again, just to show the life cycle of a mix, where it starts and where it ends up and how it gets to, I think, the best it can possibly be with a really tight network of people whose ears you can trust and people who can be candid with you about how to make the song better. I'm hoping that the next time I work with Kevin or any client on this channel for a mix, I can bring them in nice and early and make them part of the video process. So they'll like do a video with me where they do the handoff and talk about the references and everything. And that way I can be a little bit more, I bring you in a bit more to the process of collaborating with an artist to realize their vision through a mix all the way to the very end. So I'm also curious to know, like, what did you guys think about this little mini experiment series? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are there ways that it could be improved? I really genuinely would like to know, is there another genre of song that you want to see mixed? Maybe you want to send me something that I can use in my next series on mixing. Because again, I'm in a new space. I don't know my MIDI keyboard. I'm composing a little less and getting back into mixing, which I totally love. So I'm ready. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care and see you in the next one.